right, Ezekiel Elliott has been released by the Cowboys. Where does he rank all time? Best running backs in Cowboys history, 877-881-1053. We have the Super Bowl winning scout, Brian Broaddus, in the saddle for the final time this year. Welcome to the GBag Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Lucius Alexander holding it down in the Pimp Cup. LA Live at 540. Carter Freeman running the fan cam, Twitch and YouTube. Zeke no longer a member of the Cowboys, and they're saying it's they're trying to get him on a playoff team. They release him, see if a playoff team picks him up, see if he can go on a run here. Maybe a team needs 3.1 a carry to get them over the hump. You never know when you're 3.1 yards per carry away from hoisting up a Lombardi. And now the 14 playoff teams have that opportunity, and I'm sure they're all just chomping at the bit trying to make sure he clears waivers. All right, we talked obviously a lot about McCarthy, his status, 1 year, the 1 year deal this year, and now it expires. But Will McClay, who is the de facto GM to some extent, and the guy who's been running the drafts for the Cowboys for many years now, his deal also expires. And Bobby brought this up with Jerry earlier today. He was dancing around it per usual, but isn't that potentially even bigger? We talk about the head coach and Mike McCarthy. Of course, that's the headliner. But Will McClay having an opportunity to maybe go be a GM somewhere else, is this the year that he finally says, you know what, I want the official title. I want to go be the man somewhere. He packs his bags out of town.
Will might be listening, so he always hates what I say. I have the utmost respect for Will, by the way.
Everybody does, and the Cowboys only want to build their team through the draft, which is a fool's errand if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, but still, if you want to be respectable, you need a guy who's pulling the draft strings because you're not getting any free agency or trade strings pulled.
It's a unique job that he has, that the fact that he, and we always talk about him being in the middle of the triangle with coaches on one side, scouts on the other, and the Joneses being on the top of the triangle, and he does a really nice job of navigating that. Because the scouts are mad at the coaches are mad at the Joneses are mad at the scouts and the coaches, and Will does a really great job of navigating all that and like getting everybody together and building consensus, and Will has done a really, really fine job. And Jerry has always said this, that Jerry wants to take the blame. He doesn't want anybody else in the organization to take the blame, because when it works, he wants to be able to take the credit. And I think Will has done a really nice job of the communications aspect. He's got a scouting staff that is very loyal to him. They're not going anywhere. Their continuity is strong there. But there also needs to be a time, I think, where Will McClay has to think about, do I need to go I want to go hire my own coach. I want to go hire all my own scouts. I want to hire my own, I want to be the guy. I want to build the team. I want this to be my roster.
And you've always talked about his son being in grade school and high school and him wanting to stay local because of that.
He had a very similar situation to where I had. And I'm just saying, from being in personnel and then getting a divorce and then having to be around for your child. You don't want to pick up and move, and had other opportunities when Bennett was really young. I mean, I was divorced when Bennett was, 3 years old. Now he's about to be 21. So there were opportunities I had, but I couldn't leave. I had to be around for him. And so I couldn't go take other jobs. I couldn't go on the road. So I had to do things. It got me into media, and I'm cool with that. Totally cool with that. But the things that Will was dealing with, his son, he was in a similar situation where he had to be around for his kid. And it was, he's well compensated with the Cowboys, but as if he were to run a team, it would be his team. He would be the general manager of the team, and I think we're closer to that than we are of Will McClay staying around. I know he's very happy. I know he wants to get Jerry a championship if he can, but there also comes a point in time where you have to look at this and say, every time that I turn a job down, am I going to get another opportunity? And that's where that's what he has to weigh right now.
Is the son still in high school, or is he?
I think the son's in his final year. Yeah, getting closer to a graduation, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
he was younger. He was younger than Bennett. I know that. So, yeah, and Bennett's a junior now at Texas, so we ought to be getting close.
Okay, where does Zeke rank for you? All best running backs in Cowboys history. He was, by the way, 3 touchdowns away from tying Dorsett for the most touchdowns in Cowboys history.
All time. I would rank him. I would rank Smith, Dorsett. I saw Dwayne Thomas play in the 70s here. Now, Dwayne Thomas did not have a really long career here, but he was a Super Bowl champ. Outstanding player. I think Ezekiel Elliott is better than Dwayne Thomas. So I would put Elliott behind Smith, Dorsett, Elliott, and then Dwayne Thomas. I did not get to see Don Perkins play. He finished in 68. I was only 5 years old. So he was another great running back in Cowboy history. DeMarco Murray should be up there somewhere too. I'm going to say DeMarco Murray is behind Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe DeMarco Murray behind Ezekiel, like I said, and then Dwayne Thomas behind him. DeMarco Murray's up there, some of the best I've seen. You know, when you talk about Cowboys all-time running backs. So Smith, Dorsett, Elliott, Murray, and then Dwayne Thomas.
The 520 and the 682 are trolling me right here, Broadus, when they're texting in that Zeke's behind Julius Jones.
You thought about it, didn't you?
They're trolling us, right?
They might really believe it.
I was smoking that. Ooh,
yeah, it seems like that is rampant right now, Lucius. Okay, let's go ahead. We have the known opponents for the Cowboys next year.
Yes. The home is in the way.
Yeah, we got the homes.
We get Green Bay at home, don't we?
Yes.
We got Minnesota at home?
Yeah, you're playing the
All
NFC
right,
North.
Here we go.
You're playing the NFC North, and you're playing the AFC West.
Okay, so you're going to we get a trip to Vegas.
Yes, they are going to be going to Vegas.
Okay, we're going
to take on the Raiders.
Are we going to play? We got Denver at home, or are we away?
No, you're going to Denver.
Oh, that'll be tough.
You're going to Detroit.
We got Chargers at home then.
Yes, you have the Chargers at home. You have the Chiefs at home, Vikings and Packers.
So you're going,
and then also the Cardinals.
Cardinals. Oh, that's at
AT&T Stadium.
Oh, so no Cardinals. Okay, because you got your ass kicked last time you played them in.
I don't think it matters if it's in Arizona or not. I think that team has
Arizona,
your number.
Arizona at Arizona usually beats the Cowboys.
It seems like the Cardinals always beat the Cowboys.
And there's got to be swing games. Okay, New England Jets, is that one of the swing games?
Yes. So you're going to get an NFC South team, and you're going to get an AFC East team.
So Saints Carolina, right? Because we're a third place team.
Yes.
So Saints Carolina, or we're going to get Jets New England.
Yes.
Okay.
And those will be road games for you. So you're going to go to Chicago, to Denver, to Detroit, and to Vegas. And you're going to go. You're going to welcome in the Packers, the Vikings, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. And then obviously you have your divisional games. That's tough sledding right there.
They might not win a home game.
That's that is.
If you can't beat the Saints and Houston, you're not going to beat the Chiefs and Packers.
We're looking for bounce back 25 Cowboys.
Yeah.
That schedule as it stands right now, that's going to be challenging. Maybe they'll do the beet juice thing when they go to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Pull out all the stops.
Yeah, get beet juice.
Be careful with that too. Don't drink too much.
Yeah. Is there a problem with beet juice?
Run right through you?
It doesn't run right through you, but it'll sit you down for a while whenever it starts working.
Really?
Yeah. You start sending texts, hey, I'll be there a little late.
In what world? Why were you drinking beet juice? Is it delicious?
Stay regular and clean. You know,
okay,
I like
gotcha.
the fiber. Keep fibrous.
There you go.
Stomach.
Fibrous.
Well,
fibrous stomach.
Apparently, it's good to prep the body
Yes.
for mile-high altitudes.
Okay.
So, at least according to the
I
Colts.
think you're getting ball sacked.
I don't know. I mean, the Colts definitely didn't win that game when they went to Denver, so I don't know how much it helped them there. But there's your Cowboys schedule for next season. And I would like to tee up some sound from the playmaker.
What's the record?
The playmaker.
This is 6-11?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy back for another one?
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time for record predictions, but that looks like a tough 2025 schedule for the Cowboys.
We predicted when we did our show deal, we picked 9 and 8.
Yes,
we did.
So we were pretty on par.
We were close. We didn't expect him to lose to New Orleans and Atlanta.
No, we didn't have the individual games nailed, but we did have the overall schedule pretty much nailed.
Boy, New Orleans thought they had it, too. They thought they were Super Bowl bound after beating the Cowboys. Had a darn parade on division right there.
They really did, dude. They had
boom, 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 boom.
They had tubas,
umbrellas.
They had a percussion squad. That was amazing.
The umbrellas were all out that day.
The playmaker Michael Irvin was on the Herd with Colin Cowherd and listened to him talk about McCarthy and his future status.
This for me, this kind of game erases December. I don't. You can't tell me, oh, we played good in December, and then the backups to the team, their backups playing your backups, and they put up a 40 burger on you, and you look like the way you look. So I think, this takes away some of the things that you have.
Would you replace McCarthy?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I just think it's time to go in another direction.
Okay.
And I hear this late surge to maybe go in to stay with Mike McCarthy. I'm not on that. I'm not on that bandwagon. What I believe is this team needs more discipline. I'm not saying Mike McCarthy is not a good coach, X's and O's coach, but I think the team needs more discipline. And sometimes, and it's hard to bring that in when you say, okay, this guy who doesn't have that firm hand and discipline is now going to either bring somebody else in to help him with discipline.
You know what I always said, Michael? It's much easier.
That doesn't work.
Okay, so Michael Irvin, obviously not in favor of bringing McCarthy back. I disagreed with him with what he said in regards to the X's and O's stuff and having a respect for McCarthy's football acumen. But the old school players look at McCarthy's offense and they think that it is schematically up to par because it's the stuff that they were doing when they were winning in the 90s. Mm-hmm. But it has not advanced like the rest of the league has offensively. So agree to disagree with Michael Irvin there. But the overall point, the discipline, all that stuff, and this Eagles game just erasing all the good equity that he had built up over these last few weeks. I agree with Michael Irvin, and I do appreciate that he's willing to go out there and say that because there's so many voices right now. Jimmy Johnson, Troy Aikman, oh yeah, McCarthy needs to come back. Yeah. Come on, the discipline stuff is real too. It's not like he's got everything dialed and it's just his X's and O's offensively that are problematic. And an
Does he have a discipline problem?
I mean, you're always penalized. Your teams aren't ready to play when it's time to go play up against the real teams, good teams. You and your team are deer in the headlights.
Is that discipline or is that just lack of talent? Are you playing better teams that are better teams?
These teams like
this one to me is
when you're getting blown out, dude. You're not barely losing these games. You're not there. You're getting smashed.
But is that discipline or is that just you're not good enough? I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk here.
Well,
I think
semantics on what it is. Your coach doesn't have your team ready to play when the games actually matter. When there's no expectation to win and the postseason is now you're eliminated. And when the expectation go all the way down to the floor, then fine.
That's where I've said to you, I said they don't have a difference maker.
Correct.
It's not discipline. It's a difference maker. You don't have that coach that could get you to the point where when you're playing a good team, that he could be the one advantage you have. That's discipline to me is like the team is the penalty stuff and all that. We haven't had a deal where we had Mike McCarthy stand up there and, well, the bad penalties were bad today. Penalties were bad. He there was some of that early in the year, and then all of a sudden they changed the left tackle out. They weren't having holding calls. They weren't having guys lining up deep in the backfield. Defense, we didn't see the holdings and the, am I right about that? Am I right about the number of penalties? I mean, I'm sure you can pull it up a lot faster than me, but that I just kind of feel like when you talk about discipline is like your team is just, you're having problems off the field. There's a lot of complaining. There's a lot of, the locker room is bad.
Cowboys have the 4th most penalties in the season.
Okay. Can you break it down on a week-to-week thing for me? Do they have that?
I don't have that in front of me.
Okay, I could get that at the break. I could probably get that at the break. But there was a time where they were one of the, and every week McCarthy stood up there and was We got to be better on penalties. We got to be better. I don't feel like that they've been the most penalized team in the league the last 6-7 weeks.
I got you.
I'm just.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I appreciate Mike wants to get a new coach, but I think if he would have said, I don't think Mike McCarthy's a difference maker. Jimmy Johnson is a difference maker. He played for a difference maker. That's where I think this team lacks, because you do play against teams like look next year. Minnesota's got a difference maker. Detroit's got a difference maker. I think
Kansas
City's got a difference maker.
Denver.
I think Denver's got a difference maker. See, if McCarthy comes back, he's going to be at a disadvantage in all those games.
Chargers with Harbaugh.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, that's just the fact of the matter. And we definitely agree. We would both like to see someone new here. Yeah. So we'll agree with the playmaker on that.